Hey guys, welcome to David vs. Film. I am David, yo soy David, and tonight I am going head to head with Tolkien 2019. So a big hey, hi, and hello to all of you, but to you returning viewers and especially returning subscribers, what's up? First and foremost, if you'd like to see the full-length version of this reaction, along with other exclusive perks and bonus content, such as early access to the videos, Discord benefits, and more, please check out my Patreon at patreon.com/DavidVersusFilm. But if YouTube is your thing, I certainly understand. I only ask that you consider subscribing and check the notification bell if you do. Like and share on any videos you find value. And last but not least, if we're not friends on Instagram, let's be friends. I'll leave a link to my Instagram in the description down below. It's a good night because we are finally, I will keep saying it, but we are finally incapping our J.R.R. Tolkien experience, starting with Lord of the Rings about 6 months ago. It was 6 months ago, June 16th, because I started on December 16th. First watching Lord of the Rings and became totally a huge fan of that. Then went on to Hobbit and several Spilling the Peach Cheese to talk about your comments and your amazing thoughts on all the films. And now tonight we are finally ending with a movie about the man himself. Now that's about all I know. I know that it's got Nicholas Hoult. I know it's got Lily Collins, who somehow I've seen a lot of her movies and yet I can't name any of them ever. But I know she's Phil Collins' daughter and she's really great. So looking forward to seeing what she does with this. But other than that, I really don't know much about the movie. I gather it's about his life. If I'm not mistaken, it's the earlier part of his life, kind of before the novels, but I could be wrong about that. I think this is going to be a great one, especially, like I said, to fold in with our overall Middle Earth experience, let's just say. But I'm going to go on this end. I've got my peach tea as always. You guys seen previous videos, you know all about that. I've got the good vibes candle creating the atmosphere. If you're ready on your end, then let's jump right into Tolkien 2019. Okay, Nicholas Hoult, recognize him. I still see the kid from About a Boy every time I look at him, even though he's like 30 now. Okay, the Somme, France, World War I.
Sir, where are you going?
Up the line to find a friend.
Sir, wait! Talking, sir! You need to rest!
Sick?
I'm fine.
Oh no, he must be sick.
Cover your face, sir! Keep down!
He was in battle, like, I mean, right there on the front lines, looks like.
It's a long journey to the front.
Oh, to the front. Well, close, anyway. Okay, so this is a flashback then to his childhood, which I figured, but, you know, you don't want to assume. Lord knows with me and my assumptions.
We are going to face some difficult times, and we are fortunate to have the church to support us. With your father gone.
Gone dead or gone hit the road?
Ronald!
So Ronald, I didn't know I've only known him as J.R.R., but I figured she wouldn't be like, J.R.R.
Ubi bene, ibi patria. Remember that, my darling?
Wherever you feel happy. That's your home.
The earth began to shake with the weight of the
So she's one of those great moms. What a good mom. Like, she survives her husband dying. I assume he died. And then she tells these stories to her children and really involved instead of just spiraling into like despair. You know, she still stays there for them, making sure their imaginations are developed and they feel safe.
Alas, vina stjura ridri.
You know how ridiculous you sound.
So that's his little brother then. Okay, Hillary's his little brother.
Hello, mother.
Oh my God. These poor kids. First they lose their dad, now they lose their mom. Jesus. So he had a rough childhood, to say the least. Don't touch it. That's how we were raised.
You boys will be mixing with the cream of Birmingham's bonne famille.
Ooh, bonne famille, you say?
What they need, of course, is the civilizing influence of a stable and refined environment, such as yours, Mrs. Faulkner.
Oh, okay. So he's trying to find them a foster home or adoptive home.
Edith, another orphan, is like a child of my own.
That's gonna be hard to hear yourself being called an orphan when you've not experienced that most of your life, especially by an old lady with looks like she smells like onions.
Tolkien.
Oh God, it's me trying to pronounce it.
It's Keen, sir. It's pronounced Tolkien.
Tolkien. Oh, I feel horrible. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I've been saying Tolkien. You guys are too nice. You don't call me out on it. I know you've called me out on some stuff, but you guys are so nice. Let me say it wrong this whole time.
Mr. Tolkien can keep up as best he can.
Dick. Oh God, PE. The worst. Ugh. So he's already gotten a fight. Crappy first day.
You will do everything together for the rest of the term.
But sir...
Everything.
Oh Lord.
You're relevant to their master, and you're not. I'm his son.
Oh God, that sucks. Every move you make is gonna be watch now, Tolkien. At least I got some nice digs. These are like really nice houses and schools they're in. Very nice. Oh, so he likes her, I guess. Looks like he's got that loving feeling.
He has now acknowledged that this punishment was his fault rather than yours, and he'd like to make amends by inviting you to tea. Jeffrey Bache Smith.
John Ronald's Rule Tolkien.
Oh, John Ronald Rule. Yeah, I never shook hands when I was a kid. I don't think I started shaking hands till I was in like, I don't know, high school or college, really. It's just, but in movies, I always see these young guys shaking hands. I'm like, well, they're more formal than I ever was.
Christopher has had several musical pieces published.
And yet, when it comes to pursuing a life as a composer, no.
My mother's exactly the same. She values poetry. She refuses to see it as a potential career.
So these are some fancy kids. Tolkien's holding his own. He's just, you know, kind of sitting there, but like he's just observing, I think, and taking it all in.
I didn't even eat the cake that they ordered. I wasn't sure I had enough money.
Mm-hmm.
I would go somewhere where I wouldn't feel like a poor orphan. Everybody would be dressed like kings and queens.
I'd be appreciated.
So maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm kind of on guard for it, but I feel like he's like a sponge just absorbing like all these personality types, all these stories of the, you know, their histories and their lives and what they're like. Because I guess as a writer, you really are the sum of all your parts. And even if you write exaggerated fiction, it's coming from a true place, you know?
Hodges, please. Jeffrey Smith is a friend, and he's not responding to my letters.
Oh, God.
I'm worried he might be...
He's like, well, let's go find him. Oh, he's like his Sam. Like if you, like I'm really gonna go down that road of trying to really compare and read a lot into it. If he's the Frodo, then Hodges, I think he said was his name. Hodges is the Sam in this situation.
Helheima. It's a place where warriors are sent if they die in the wrong way.
What's the wrong way?
Anything other than battle.
Helmet, it should be our warning, our challenge.
Yes, I know, but you should learn how to pronounce it first.
Oh God, I'd never be able to make it in this group. Lasgalin, Thror, and Threndil, Galadriel, Dwaro, the Dwaro, Threndil, Dwalin, oh, good God.
I challenge you to sit in silence for 25 minutes.
I'd also fail that challenge.
We should form a club. A brotherhood.
A fellowship, as it were.
The Tea Club and Barovian Society. The TCBS.
Yeah, so a friend of mine mentioned that to me. So now they're like actual friends then, not just assigned to be friends by his dad. Like, they really are friends. Brothers. Oh, so now they've gotten older, okay. Oh, and there's old LC, Lily Collins.
This way, please.
Fancy! God!
In Blick und Haarplaster, Cremou.
And you invented that?
Yes. Verb structures, vocabulary,
Oh,
everything.
inventing the languages. Wow, that's impressive.
Hand. Touch. Things aren't beautiful because of how they sound. They're beautiful because of what they mean. Tell me a story.
Oh God, girl, you gonna be there for a while. Y'all might as well settle in and order dinner because he made up a whole language. You always got some stories.
Trees.
Trees.
One of the purest black, like ebony, the other white as bone. Their poison saps commingle to create a powerful, life-giving potion, the water of Celador. A magic beyond anything anyone has ever felt before.
She's like, woo, Tolkien, you got me hot and bothered. I love that story, though. That's a really, really cool story. Celador.
I hope I've dressed up properly. Are you all trying for Oxford?
Well, Tolkien and I are. The other two are aiming for Cambridge.
I would love to hear you play the piano sometime, Miss.
You're a composer yourself, isn't that right, Christopher?
Yes.
I like the romantics.
So do I.
He's like, okay. Let's let someone else talk.
I'm afraid we must go.
Already?
Yes, Mrs.
Yep,
Fulton.
gotta go.
I have a passion for Wagner. I want to talk about him, to discuss, to debate, but you
Conflict. Just tell her, dude. But she's not walking very fast. She'll catch up pretty easy. Oh, that's cool, though. What he's imagining. Oh, and then it's interesting. Because I guess maybe it's like also like a side effect of the sickness, which in this case it's sickness, but how many of the literary greats from the past were on all kinds of drugs and different things that caused this explosion of creativity, you know?
Only the stain of a deadly
What
quarrel.
are their lives? It's like lying on a tiger rug, drinking like scotch or brandy or whatever they're drinking. I was like sitting in my parents' kitchen drinking like Coke.
I thought you said he was away.
Yes, he was.
What's this?
You said I might have some friends here, sir.
I have work to do. Send them home now.
You're impossible, father. Is he the guy from the OA? I think it is.
We've worked hard, sir. And these are my friends. And I've made them a promise which
solid argument
I would like to keep.
Very well.
Oh, well done. Well, they Hellheimered the situation there, didn't they? Good job, guys.
Wagner wrote it in 4 acts. It starts with a ring, a magical ring which can rule the world and which is forged by a dwarf.
Okay, well, that one's just obvious.
Nothing at all?
That's what we mean by fools say, yes. There is availability in the dress circle.
Oh, he's gonna spend everything he's got. Oh my god, that sucks. We're gonna beat the shit out of these 2 elderly people and steal their clothes and head on in.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I'm not going to live like that. Counting out the pennies is shameful. My mother, she was sick. Maybe if I could have paid, then...
Oh, she's being very vulnerable with her, telling her. And this is where she falls in love with him. That's the moment right there. And then that's where he further falls in love with her. See, that's a night you're not going to forget. I mean, like, you'd probably never forget going and just sitting and watching the show either, but you'll definitely remember this. This is one of those moments that makes up the fabric of, like, your entire lives together later, you know? Congratulations. You just inherited Phil Collins as a father-in-law. Hope you enjoy listening to In the Air Tonight every single Christmas.
I can take it again, and I can pass.
To pass is not enough. You need a scholarship.
Father Francis is going to lay down the law.
Your fellow lodger.
Look, Edith has nothing to do with my failing that exam.
You were seen coming out of her room. She's not even Catholic, Ronald.
Now we get to the real issue.
Edith, it's just until I reach my majority.
Oh, for God's sake, Ronald. I let myself believe that there are happy endings for people like us. I hope you enjoy it.
So she's basically throwing it for them. She's sacrificing herself so that he'll be able to have his future and realize his potential. That's actually true love. It's a selfless act.
I need your help. I need to rest, son.
Oh, his name is actually Sam. I didn't catch that earlier. I was just saying that he was like Sam because he called him Hodges, I think, earlier, so I didn't catch that.
I haven't achieved the grades.
What are you going to do?
And they'll endorse my scholarship until the end of term. After that, I have to finance my own studies. So.
Oh. You have connections now. Like, use your rich friends to get some money somehow. If sports really moved in slow motion like this, I might have a chance.
Mr. Tolkien?
What? God, what now? Is brother dead? So I'll take a minute here. Could you imagine, like, if you're him at this age, thinking that one day, 100 years from then, people are going to be spending millions of dollars on your creations and, like, studying your writings, your inventions. Yeah, it's just incredible.
Ronald, get up. Get up. It's me.
She's engaged. She's getting married.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, what a good friend.
To love someone who cannot return your feelings is painful. Perhaps there's a kind of beauty to that love. It is clear and fierce today as it was the very first day it began, and there's beauty to that.
Does he love him? Because he's kind of got that look. See, oh yeah, he loves him. He gets it. Oh, poor Geoff.
The child points tree. Later he learns to distinguish this tree from all the others. He learns its particular name. He kisses under it, he sleeps under it, he weds under it. A king is said to have hidden in this tree. And all this, the general and the specific, he knows with the utterance of a single sound. Oak. Our language is never nonsense.
Okay, so he's definitely, I was about to say, an expert in linguistics.
And a word without meaning is what? Merely a sound.
And I joke around, but I really find this very interesting.
Tell them Professor Wright sent you.
This is your chance, can't you see? Are you telling me that the philology department don't give out scholarships?
Yeah, for someone who happens to be a genius with languages.
Very true.
Moron.
They're like, Tolkien, life is intervening. Answer the call.
Professor Wright.
My class is full, Mr. Tolkien, full.
Helene. Professor, look. It's everything. After all, what is language for? It's not just the naming of things, is it? It's the lifeblood of a culture, a people.
Beowulf, Marceloda Bern edge the hours.
But see, now he's happy. He finds his passion. He's, narrowed his focus and he's enjoying what he's doing, which I'm sure is what Edith wanted for him. Middle Earth. There you go.
England's at war. Germany's invaded Belgium.
He's like, son of a bitch. It just doesn't stop.
To all the future TCBS meetings. All across Europe.
So they're all going to serve. I guess they're going to have to.
Helheimer!
Wow, everything just changed. They went from boys to men pretty much overnight. Oh, there she is.
I'll try and hold the ship.
And you're engaged?
He's very kind.
He's like, I don't care.
There hasn't been a day, a moment, I've never stopped thinking about you. You deserve every happiness you find. You deserve magic.
He takes a quarter from behind her ear. I do deserve this. Chase him, you fool! Ah, there we go.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh, yay, they love each other. There's a poor man who gave a ring that's not going to be liking this so much, but good for them.
Stay alive and come back to me.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad it worked out for them. Unless she dies of tuberculosis, which these movies are like the Oregon Trail. It could happen at any minute. You never know. I know he makes it because we have some amazing books and movies.
Where's Jeffrey Bates Smith? Lieutenant Jeffrey Bates. Time Smith is here. He's already gone over the top. Get!
This is almost like a legit war movie. I mean, I know it's not the entire purpose of it, but they've done some really good like war footage right here. It's crazy how all this fighting is happening around him with helmets and guns and downed bagpipers. And then he's just walking through. Oh God, this looked good. Yeah, good. Well, no wonder he was so adept at summoning the most evil, dire visuals. What he lived through. Madame Pomfrey with her pumpkin juice. Let's grow some bones back, fellas.
You've been asleep for a very long time. You've had trench fever. Jeffrey is dead. Robert Gilson, he was...
Oh,
he's
God.
also...
Oh, God. God damn it. I thought we had just sidestepped a last scene, you know what I mean? Like an emotional scene. And so help me God, this is a letter from Geoff.
My dear John Ronald. May you say the things I have tried to say long after I am not there to say them.
Could have been worse. But that shows you right there. There's his mission to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. To continue on with his stories and his tales for his fallen brothers who can't. Oh, that's a very sad visual.
Smith. Wonderful to see you. Thank you for coming.
And this is where you sat.
See, I don't need these visuals.
Yes.
You guys know how I'm so prone to start crying. I don't need those visuals.
I was wondering, with your permission, perhaps I might try to get a volume of his poems published. I thought perhaps I could write the foreword myself.
Did he know love?
He was the person who most embodied what it means to love.
It's a really good answer. Especially for a mother. What a mother needs to hear after she's lost her son. Felt she didn't know him.
But forward would be lovely.
Remember how Mother made us kiss the trees? I want to listen to them talk.
Oh, Hillary's back.
Dark magic was that. Children, I need your help. I want you to listen to a story.
What's it about?
It's about journeys. Ventures.
An unexpected journey, something tells me.
Hobbit.
Hobbit was published in 1937 and launched Tolkien's career as one of the most acclaimed fantasy writers in the world. Oh, 1973, okay. She's after Edith. Oh, wow. I've heard that true love, you know, usually when they're older, don't make it past 5 years without each other. Oh, that's really good. If I'm being honest, way better than I was anticipating. I really didn't know what to expect going into it. Biopics can have their own feel. And I knew this wasn't going to be a riveting, you know, like moment-to-moment action-packed adventure, right? And even though I do love these types of movies by nature, you just never know what you're going to expect. But that was really good. That was really good. I'm surprised that I haven't heard more about this, honestly. I did take some notes so that I wouldn't forget some important parts as we went along during the movie. But first and foremost, I would say that was a really solid, just under 2 hours. I love when they do movies like that where they don't put too much that it drags on, and it's also not cut too short that you don't catch some things that you'd hope they would expand upon. I thought they did a really great job with that. Everything was good as far as the film itself goes. But as far as the notes go, the first thing I wrote was, wherever you feel happy, that's your home. I really enjoyed the character of his mother, and I really felt like that, you know, that was a central tenet of his childhood, was that wherever you go, you know, like it's what you make of it. You know, like there's no one place that determines your home or your happiness. That's up to you. I enjoyed that perspective. I also love that I got to know his name. The whole time I've just been calling him JRR, not paying attention to what it can mean, honestly, but John Ronald Royale, it looks like, Reuel, unless I was writing that too quickly and wrong. I was trying to keep up two things at once, multitask. Tolkien, glad to know I'm saying it the right way now. Horrible that I've been going on for 6 months saying Tolkien. So yeah, Tolkien. Hellheimer, I love that. I enjoyed that whole thing when they would do that. Stories that shaped his stories. Yeah, you can totally tell from an early age. You know, I think that even writers, as I kind of mentioned during the video, who write about fantasy or things that are completely made up, not rooted in reality whatsoever, there are still reality-based events that shape those stories and shape those tales, you know, and every author writes about their own experience to some degree. I truly believe that. So you definitely saw all of the events from childhood on up through the war that shaped the stories that would become the tales we know today. So that was pretty cool to see that. His influence, I mentioned that also during the video, that, like, you know, is there ever a point where he would have thought, oh my God, these stories I'm writing, I know he's doing it for a living, he's doing it for a passion, he's doing it for his family, but to think that, you know, one day this is going to catch on, and it won't be on some small scale level like you're mildly successful in a few bookstores. It's a worldwide blockbuster phenomenon with movies and merchandise, and couldn't even probably like fathom something like that. So it's interesting to watch his beginnings and then what it ended up becoming later on. Geoff, Jeff. Oh my God. I didn't think I was emotionally invested in the movie until we got to the parts with him. And I don't know that actor. I don't recognize him, but holy shit, he did an amazing job. And I mean, totally, I did not expect to get emotional. I did a pretty good job keeping it in check, right? Kind of didn't do as much of the teen night, so that helped. But yeah, those scenes with him and then what came afterwards, which I kind of made note about that too, coming up in a second, were really, really stellar. The meaning behind the words. Oh yeah, first Edith said that, and then Professor Wright. You know that Tolkien was like, Tolkien. There I go again. Old habit. Sorry. Tolkien seems like he had a really connection with words and with linguistics and languages and all of that. But the people in his life who he sort of held in high regard, right? So Edith initially, the professor later had to teach him that the meaning behind the words have to be there as well. It's amazing that you're doing what you're doing. It's incredible that you're writing these languages and you're coming up with all these different, the conjugations and all of that. But there has to be meaning behind it. Otherwise, it's just not relevant. And so I like that they showed that. Oh, and then when they said that the language is the lifeblood of a culture and a people. Love that. Great line. I'm glad we didn't have to see the goodbye scene with the friends. I did note that they did me a solid at the end of the film that I did not have to see him actually say goodbye to Geoff. They kind of came around then, though, because I made note about that too. That just when you think you're off the hook, they did have the letter and they showed the image of the actor, but it wasn't too bad. I've definitely seen worse, and I was ready. I mean, I knew I was going to be like a mess if they showed that, so thankfully they didn't. And then I like that you get the impression, obviously when he's talking to Jeff's mother, that like he now is going to write for those who can't express their talents, so for those who can't, he's the only one. And from what we saw in the epilogue kind of, words there at the end, that Chris never quite achieved after the war. Like you could tell the war really messed him up, right? So he never really achieved what he could have achieved probably prior to it. And then of course the other two friends passed away. So it really was on Tolkien to like continue with their contributions to humanity, which he obviously did in spades. And then the last thing was The Hobbit. Yeah, what a great way to end it that they showed the beginning. It's a neat sort of juxtaposition there of like the end of the movie and then the beginnings of his amazing career as an author by starting the first few lines of The Hobbit. So great movie, I have to say. And what an amazing way to end this adventure into the Tolkien world. Speaking of Tolkien world, be looking for that still when I win the lottery one day. Like I said, I'm going to create Tolkien world. This gives me a little bit more. This will be an evening with Tolkien exhibit, right? When you go through and it's the more adult experience there at the park. But yeah, I really, all kidding aside, I was not expecting to get into this world like I have. When I started the channel, I wanted to watch some movies I hadn't seen. Usually horror movies, right? Because that was the least experience I had. Sci-fi, fantasy, kind of coming in at a close second. So this has really, really rocked my world in a good way. I am so happy that you guys came along on the adventure with me. Thank you so much for your amazing comments. If you haven't subscribed, I certainly appreciate that. If you do, if you want to see more videos like this, it really helps out the channel. A like helps out the channel as well. But regardless, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and I will see you in the next one.